A Brighter Sun, Chapter 8. The sun, almost halfway to the center of the sky, seemed to lose intensity for a minute as a wind ran through the village, turned the leaves of the mangrove trees in the swamp, and twisted the branches of the coconut palms, then spread out low and long as it reached the coast of the Gulf of Paria. The ringing in the schooners alongside the St. Vincent jetty in the harbor shook. A sail halfway up a mast flapped, and a barefooted negro, a Grenadian, took a mouthful of water from an enamel cup and gargled, spouting the water over the side. He hawked and spat as far as he could, and watched the wind ruffling the water. A bus pulled out of the stand near the post office in San Juan, packed with workers for the city. "No more room, no more room," the conductor bawled as a man tried to hop on the bus. That part of San Juan near the main road was rammed with traffic and early vendors, and people anxious to get to work on time. Taxis crawled, enticing passengers. Some going into the farther country districts changed their minds and turned around in San Juan when they saw the amount of fares for the city. A driver, eating a roti for his breakfast, took up 3 and headed for the city. He stopped at 6th Avenue in Barataria for another. Housewives were buying early, crowding around Joseph's meat stall, and he stood surveying them indifferently, sharpening his knife. Lettuce and watercress were going cheap. A donkey cart laden with coconuts was doing good business. The driver, his roti eaten, asked the passengers to please wait a minute while he drank a coconut. A local train slowed down and stopped at the halt. The guard had forgotten to close the gates on the other side of the street, but a pedestrian did it for him just as the train groaned to a halt. Scores of young girls who worked in the stores in Frederick Street, students for the colleges, manual laborers, all got on, and the guard waved a ragged green flag, and the train blew smoke in the wind and started off slowly. For there was another halt about 300 yards down in 10th Avenue. The taxi driver finished his coconut and joined the stream of traffic. "Look, the Americans starting to build the road," he told his passengers as he stopped for a young colored girl. They saw machinery and a few Americans in blue dungarees. The girl sat in the front seat, sweeping her hands under her skirt so it wouldn't crumple as she sat. The train jogged through the swamp behind a rum bond and a coconut oil factory where they made tins. The taxi driver swerved from a bus and narrowly escaped an oncoming truck. The colored girl held her breath. He reached the bus stop before the bus and took up a manual laborer in dirty clothes. The girl sniffed as he got in beside her and drew as near as she could to the driver. The train ran alongside a canal filled with nasty water at the edge of the swamp. The wind went in at one side, fanning the crowded compartments, and blew out the windows. The taxi stopped in Marine Square and the girl got out. It would have been nearer her place of work if she had gotten off at George Street, but she couldn't bear to walk there. She always got off in the square and walked down and turned right into the shopping center. The train whistled and the station exuded passengers. Men and women hurried off to work, and students caught tramcars to go to school. The Grenadian seaman, having washed his face, went to the stern of the schooner and loosened his trousers and stooped over the side, holding on to a stay. Miller took a rest from sweeping the yard and watched Chandra crawling on the floor. She sat on the back steps under the shade of the mango tree, and the child came to her and she lifted it in her arms. "You hungry, Dudu?" She stroked the baby's head. Every night she anointed Chandra with coconut oil to keep her healthy. She pulled out a brown, full breast and put the teat to the baby's mouth. Chandra closed her eyes and sucked, her little fingers and toes twitching with pleasure. "That enough?" Urmila said, and put the baby down and fixed herself. "I have to go and graze the cow now, but I won't stay too long. You must sleep in the hammock until I come back. She was always lonely when Tiger was away, and she had taken to talking out loud as she worked. Once, Rita heard her and stood up listening. And when we get money, she was telling the child, we're moving from here and going in a pretty house to live, and plenty of nice things for you to wear. Little dresses and shoes. Look up to now, you ain't have a pair of shoes. Don't mind you can't walk yet, but still. Hey gal, your mother or what, talking to yourself? Rita had asked. Urmila saw her and blushed. I only talking to Chandra, man, she said. She never liked to talk about herself or how she felt about the future. Not even Tiger knew what she thought about. He thought she was stupid. When in the night he told her how life would be different when they had money, she didn't tell him anything. Where was all this money to come from? He never told her. He just said, girl, one day things gonna be different. You just wait and see. She put Chandra in the hammock, tying the loose ends together, and gave it a shove. It swung, and the baby's eyes opened wide, puzzled by the movement. Urmila took the cow and walked slowly down the street, stopping to allow it to crop at green patches of grass near the drains. She saw a vacant house, and the gate was open. She went in and left the cow in the yard, walking around and looking at the glass windows and the painted walls. Such a house would be better to live in than a stupid old hut. It had electric light and water. Tiger wouldn't have to get up extra early to catch water at the standpipe. Every night now, he's sitting up late reading with the lamp. His eyes would go bad. What he reading? He say he learning to read. She sat on the back steps, rubbing a stick against the concrete. Why he learning to read? So he could be a big man and have education? So when they get this money and living in big house, he wouldn't be stupid. But Rita say he is a damn fool. She said Joe can't read so good or write, and how they have a good house, and Joe have a good job with the base. But still, she well sending Henry to school to learn though. She saw Baggy, an edible plant, growing wild. She picked the good ones, looking in the road to see if anybody was watching. She went to the front and tiptoed in the gallery to peer in a window. The house was unfurnished. She saw the drawing and dining rooms. The doors to the bedrooms were locked. Once, while selling milk, she had seen the interior of a well-furnished house. The woman had told her to wait while she went inside for money, leaving the door open. And Urmila had seen big, upright chairs in which she could sleep with soft, pretty cushions, pictures on the wall, vases with flowers, a piano shining in the corner, a table with Christmas cards, and the dining room behind, a mahogany table polished to clear reflection, a dumbwaiter with so many things, glasses and jugs and pretty silver things to hold things, and a big looking glass in the center. She used after that to look in all the houses where she sold milk, drawing comparisons. Rita's house wasn't so nice. Joe was always dirtying it up. When we get house, that will be thing. A big piano, a big table, everything big. Because it's only when you small, you does have small thing, and when you poor. She stopped at Tall Boy's shop and asked him if he had got saltfish yet. She thought of Tiger again as she pulled the cow along. It wanted to stop and eat everything, as if it was never satisfied. She had gone to the garden one day and seen Tiger arguing with an okra tree. Look, it's time you start to bear, he was saying. I give you good care, and I know you're getting good food, because I do everything the government man said to do. Everybody okra tree bearing, and you have to bear too. That is the reason why I plant you. She asked him if he wanted any help, and he had shaken his head. But what you could do, he said, is go down by Dean and tell him to send me blasted hoe. He borrowed since day before yesterday, and I want it to use right now. She held her hands to her forehead and looked down the fields and said, "Like he wife using it now." Tiger said, "Don't mind that. So what? I must do it up my own thing when I want it. Man, go and tell him to get it to you now. Dean, pulling weeds with his hands, had said his wife was using it if Tiger couldn't wait. "You mean he can't wait a little bit? Every day he does ask me for manure or seed. When I borrow anything from him, he doing as if a thief it." She had gone back and told Tiger. He listened. Too many damn people taking him for a little boy still, doing him as they like. His own hoe too besides. And Dean lie if he say I ever borrow thing from him. The most is some okra seed he give me, and look, this tree like it don't want to bear. The damn seeds must be rotten. He had gone to Dean and pulled the hoe from the woman's hands before she knew what he was doing. "But Tiger, that is all the manners you have?" Dean's wife exclaimed. "You're so impatient. You can't wait a little bit." Dean said, "It's all right. Give the bitch the hoe. He go want something from where again?" Tiger said, "Man, it's 2 days you have my hoe. You think it's only you have place to weed?" Dean was a much bigger man, with hairy arms and legs. Ermila had stood and looked on from a distance, afraid they were going to fight. She went up to Tiger and said, "Come, let we go. Don't bother with them." They walked away, and Dean's wife said, "Look at she like a force-ripe mango." Tiger spun around. "She don't whore though. I hear every night when Dean gone San Juan or Port of Spain, you does have another man in the house." Ermila tugged his arm. "Come and go," she said urgently. Dean said, "Boy, you lucky you small. I would have killed you here today." The other gardeners had murmured to themselves. Old Sukdea hopped out. "It's a long time I not see fight this side. Beat him up, Tiger. Beat him up, Dean." Sukdea stumbled onto a lettuce bed and a man cursed him. Sukdea threatened to fight and they all laughed. Tiger walked away, Ermila clinging to his arm. When they got back to the garden, he said, "You yourself, you not have anything to do home. You don't afraid something happened to the child." She had gone home to cook something nice for him, so he wouldn't be vexed anymore when his belly was full. Suddenly, she realized she wanted to talk to Rita. She dragged the cow the rest of the way and peeped into the hut to see if Chandra was asleep. Rita told her to come over as she was cooking callaloo and couldn't leave the pot just now. "Girl, I don't know how I forget to tell about what happened the other day in the garden. Dean did want to beat Tiger for his own hoe." Rita stirred the pot and took out a spoonful of callaloo. She wiped her hand on her dress and poured the sauce in her hand and licked it. She smacked her lips and turned to Ermila. "Now, let me hear this scandal. Is what happened, girl?" Ermila recounted the incident, and Rita said, "Tiger should have bust the hoe in the head. That's why it never good to lend thing out. It's all right like we saw, but some people like they don't have conscience. You hear what happened to Joe down at the base?" "No, man." "Well, you know he have a good work with the Yankees. People from all about going for work in the base because the Yankee paying plenty money. American people not cheap like British people, girl. From the time people hear about the Yankee work, they leave in everything else, post office and treasury and government work, because they're getting money more than the government could pay. So what you think happen? The government say, it is so? And now they pass a new rule telling the Americans they can't pay so much money to the poor people. That is upsetting economy and society. And besides that, at first the Americans used to pay in American money. You never see American money?" Ermila shook her head, and Rita took the pot off the fire, and they went inside and sat in the drawing room. She opened her purse and showed Ermila an American dollar. "You see that there? Well, It worth about 1.5 of we government dollar. So when you get about 20 of them, it's just as if you have 40. Well, on top of what I tell you just now, the government said that Trinidadians and all them small island people must not get paying Yankee money. So you could imagine how Joe vex like hell. Everybody vex. But how they could do the people like that? I don't know about it done. I'm sorry for all them Grenadians and St. Lucians who come over here to make money. If you see a small island people in town, all over the place, wherever you turn, you're bouncing up small island. They must be thinking Trinidad is a paradise. So what happened? Joe looking for new work? Nah, man, he's still working down in the base, but it have a rumor spreading that they're going to lay off men, and he might lose the job. Listen, you have any tomatoes to sell? Yes, plenty. Corn too. Go bring a pound for me now. Here, look a shilling. No, man, Rita, I won't charge you for it, man. You just give me so much thing whenever you have. If things was really bad, I would take it. It ain't a matter of that. All you have to do to make a living by selling things. And when it comes to business, it ain't have no friendship in that. So take the shilling, gal. And know if you could afford it, you'd have give me everything for nothing. But Ermila went away without taking the money, and brought back a paper bag filled with the best tomatoes she had. Here, one day when things really add up, I will come for the shilling. Rita put up the tomatoes in the kitchen. So Tiger learning to read? Yes, ain't he just come over here in the night to see? Rita laughed. Imagine a big man like that he learning to read. How about you? You don't want to learn too? Oh, me? No, man. Ermila looked around the room as if she had forgotten something. Then she exclaimed, But you know, I forget the most important thing. Girl, I didn't have those things last week. What you mean? Oh, is why your period? Yes, it's around that time. Up to now nothing happened? No. Well, must be another little tiger on the way. But you can't be too sure. Some people does skip, you know. Wait until next month now. But it's time you had a next baby anyway. Sometimes I wish I was able, but it look like I would never have any. Joe say he don't mind. He say he glad that because children is trouble. But I ain't minding he now. One of these days I got take up myself and go see the doctor and find out if anything wrong with me. Girl, Tiger's so funny these days. I don't know how to tell him. I don't know if he go be glad or vexed. Well, you're not sure yet, so you don't have to tell him right now. Wait a little bit until you're sure now. Then you could tell him. If it's anything, I hope it's a boy this time. The last time he nearly dead when he heard it was a girl. You remember the night? You think I will ever forget? You was really good to me, Rita. You was a true friend. Don't talk stupidness. People must live good with their neighbor. I like you and Tiger. I don't know why. All you does live good. But since he learning things, he like forgetting me and the baby. Well, it's a life sometimes. You know, growing up like a man, you know. When he pass that stage, he go be like the old Tiger you used to know. So you advise me to not tell him anything now? Look, girl, don't say that. You could do what you want to do. Eh? I just tell you how I feel. It's up to you. If you want to tell him, it's your business. But I don't like to advise nobody about nothing, because if anything go wrong, it's I who go get the blame. Don't mix me up in all your business, you hear now? Tiger said to the American officer, not waiting for Boise to speak, Just tell me what to do, I will do it. I was reading a book on how to build road, so I know about it. It's true, doing it is a different thing, but... The American in charge of civilian labor laughed. Look, John, I named Tiger. Well, whatever your name is, you just assist us, see? The foreman will tell you what to do. Obey orders, do what you're told, and we'll get on fine. That goes for all of you. He eyed the civilians. I don't want any trouble. $20 a week, Boise told Tiger. That is plenty money, yes. That is $100 a month. It's better pay than I feel we would have get. Imagine, Tiger told Miller after his first day's work, how much thing we could do with that money. No wonder people leaving all the work to get American job. Today, they had people from all in San Juan and Laventil come to look for work. About 20 are we working now. The boss say later on when the work come more, they will take on more men. I hear tomorrow about 40 more come in. Is what sort of work you doing? All kind of things, man. Clearing away the bush, cutting down the bush with cutlass. You ever see what they call a bulldozer? What? A bulldozer, man. If you see that thing work. The driver is a Creole man from St. Joseph. He know how to drive it. He does only have to drive straight up to a tree, and the bulldozer push the tree, and it fall down. And it doing things like digging dirt and shoveling up. It's a big invention. If they go on, so they say they go make things do all the work, and we wouldn't have no job. I wish I could work too. Don't afraid. I know what you go do. We have some money saved from the compensation. You must make things to sell the Americans would buy. You see what have an Indian woman out by the main road near 6th Avenue? How she does make money for so selling roti and thing? Well, you could do that too. Down by where the road building. Plenty of the fellas who not living near does go in the parlor and eat bread and butter and drink sweet drink. If you could be near the job, you know how much money we make. Them Americans well like the Korean roti. I hear they does buy in Port of Spain and eat all about. I was thinking as we have this money, we could repair the house little bit. We could buy galvanized sheet and put on the roof and move all them old carrot leaf. Because, Tiger, it gonna be such a long time before we have money enough to buy house with. This whole hut really bad, but I'm not spending any money on it. What you think I going to do with the first pay I get? Guess what? I don't know. I'm starting to buy bricks. One by one I will buy. You know, I had an idea last night. We must buy a house. Why we can't build one? Right here where the hut is. All we have to do is to make sure we could get the land. We could lease it from the estate. And I could build it myself, man. The men in the village go help me. Every payday I go buy something. Cement, more brick, wood, galvanize. Don't forget clothes for the children. Which children? But are you playing as if you don't know I'm going to have another baby? What the hell is this? Tiger pushed back the chair he was sitting in and it toppled over the floor. Is who you tell so? I bet it's Rita. Well, I didn't know for myself, but still I asked she, and she said yes, it's on the way now, but it's plenty time yet. When you find this thing out? Few days now. You going mad or what? And all this time you didn't tell me nothing? It's only tonight you telling me? But Tiger, these days you're so funny. You're hardly home. You're always busy reading or writing. And you say I must keep quiet when you're working. These days you're so sighted, you're going all over the night. You're going to play cards with Boise. You're going in the shop. You're going out with Joe. You're going San Juan. You're not paying attention to home. Last Sunday I don't know where you been, but you come home late smelling a rum. Whole week you only talking about the road the Americans going to build. And I thought you did know for yourself because you remember how Chandra come when we did do the thing. And we does do it still. So child must come. Why you didn't tell me before? I was afraid, man, Tiger. You ain't vexed with me for that. It don't make no difference. It's a long time to go yet. Well, even the neighbors know. My wife going to have child and I don't know. You looking for licks? Yes. I'm mad to bust your mouth. I'm mad to kill you here with lick tonight. Ermila cowered near the baby in the hammock. But Tiger, I don't want to hear a damn thing, man. You feel as if you is big woman, eh? You feel as if you could do without things without telling me. I better send you back to Traguanas. I better do something to stop the baby from coming. It have ways, you know. Oh God, you mustn't say that, Tiger. If my father and mother hear you saying that, to hell with them. They don't have nothing to do with it. You think it's all my life I gonna let them tell me what to do? From the time I small, they're doing everything for me. They married me to you, and I didn't even know you or where you come from. Up to now, I don't know what sort of woman you really is. I know so. I could have been man, and I would have met a girl I love and get married to she when I could afford it. You think they give me anything? They give me a cow and this whole mud hut in Barataria, and they give me you. Look at you. You ain't have no sense. You ain't even pretty. Dean have a pretty wife. Boys, he have a pretty girl in Port of Spain. Don't mind she Creole. He show me she photo. But I ask you again, is why you didn't tell me this thing before? Oh God, Ermela sobbed. I beg your pardon. Don't think you gonna soft me up with them tears. You sure is my child you're making? I not stupid as before, you know. You sure is my child? You does be your home alone and I go out. You sure you didn't do anything with nobody? Ermela hung her head in shame and sobbed, unable to speak. Tiger went next door. Rita, you didn't know Ermela was going to have baby? Rita was home alone. Joe had gone out and Henry was sleeping. Yes, what happened? She asked, seeing his agitation. And all this time, you didn't tell me nothing? If so, you call yourself friend? What happened to you at all? Is why you so excited? Ermela didn't tell you? She now tell me. Well, what happened for that? You are so busy with your compensation business and getting work with the Americans and reading your book and writing your story. What story? Oh, you mean? Ain't you writing a story about all you and what you have in your garden and all the road building? Who tell you so? Ermela? And who else then? But what happened to you, so Tiger? Why you so hot tonight? Is what do you? Man, Rita, you didn't treat me like a friend at all. You mean since the other day you and she know about this baby and nobody not tell me nothing at all? So what? So I ain't man in my own house now. You're too damn foolish. You could see you as a little boy still. That ain't nothing to get so vexed about. She would have tell you, but you're playing big scholar, reading and writing. And these days and nights, you never home till late in the night. Like you know all my business. I know everybody does know everybody in business in this village. You ain't nobody special now. You just like one away and two besides. Look here. If you and your wife have quarrel, don't come over here and make no noise, you hear? Don't mind Joe ain't here. I will throw you out if you make too much noise. Alright, Rita, alright. I ain't quarreling with you. It ain't your fault. But tell me. And he lowered his voice, ripe with knowledge. You never see anybody around here when I'm at home. You never notice if any man does come to see Ermela when I out in the night or working in the day. What you trying to say at all? Girl, I'm not stupid as long time. Long time people could have fooled me because I didn't know things. But I know a lot now how men does go run by other people's wife when their husband not home and have things to do with them. You thought I didn't know. I could see you look surprised. You mean you think Ermela harming you? That she have another man? Rita asked incredulously. Well, it could happen, you know. Plenty things could happen and nobody find out. Tell me, girl, Rita, you never see anybody, especially these nights. Get out my blasted chair, Rita shouted. Get out the house, you worthless bitch. You have a nasty coolie mind. That poor girl does only be thinking about you all the time. Oh, Tiger going to do this for she and that for she. Oh, Tiger working hard to save money to build house. And look at you, you nasty dog. You suspect she harming you? You ain't have no shame. That poor girl don't even look at any other man but you. Though she well have cause. And you know what she have, so? You know why you're turning so nasty? Because you're reading all them book. Because you're finding out too much things about life. That's why. Learning to read. Learning to write. Why the hell you don't learn how to mind your wife? I wish it was true that she harming you. I wish she did have another man. Then you got stop reading them book and going all about in the night for experience. You is a damn fool. I had a mind once you would turn out to be a good husband. But what you say here tonight really shame me. Get out the house, man. Haul your tail from here. Don't stay here. Go somewhere else. End of chapter 8.